when we get to it, we get to it. And again, this is Valdron. This is Sunday evening, and we are kind of ready to rumble when the game has loaded in. So I need to check if I actually have my mic on. I do, and is it the right mic? That's another thing, because Windows sometimes change it, so it is my camera mic instead of the good mic, and then I sound like I'm sitting somewhere I shouldn't be sitting. But it doesn't seem like that's the case. Everything looks fine. My weight turned over. That's also one of the things, and the freighter is actually at a paradise planet, but it's kind of difficult to see that it's a paradise planet. But yeah, that is what it is. And up around the freighter you can see all my frigates. They are actually hanging there when they are not out on mission. So, and we could even go and visit them if we wanted to. I don't have any purpose of doing so. So that's not really where we are going to spend our time as yet. But if anyone wants to see it, let me know in chat. Chat is there for questions from new players, comments from experienced players, and anything in between. If you have questions, comments, anything, let me know, and we will try to see what we can get out of that. I will of course try to help the much I can. If I can't, then hopefully someone else on the channel, well, someone in chat can step in and give some tips, tricks, hints, or help, or whatever it is. So we start with the frigates. Well, we actually started going up and get was our extracted chromatic metal. It changes from system to system what it actually is, but so far I have only gotten chromatic metal from that extractors on the freighter, so I don't mind. It is free resources, and I am happy to actually just grab it. So let's go and see what we get out of this. A balance, so it can be anything. That was one of those, some materials and stuff, another rare thing, and 1.5 million. So we are at oh, wait a minute, it's 200 million. Okay, so 4.2 billion is 4,200,000,000. I need to get my numbers right here, so it's not even that close. So this was an expedition one, and it had both of my organic frigates in it, and I hope they will bring back some sacks for storage in the living ship, but they are quite rare to get back. I do get the eggs, which is modules, but that is not so useful. So, an industrial one. It was a lot of materials, no money. Oh, some money, but very little. Oh, this is the discovery one with my organic frigates. Okay, it was wrong what I said, so I think this was longer running as well. No, not really. Well, let's see what comes in with it. Nothing. Nothing that I hoped for. Of course, comes with materials, resources, coins, but nothing for the organic ship. This one was probably the longest, which was balanced if I remember. No, it's combat, 4,600 light years, so it was quite long. And that typical is a lot of coins, but also other things. Service frigate module, and unfortunately can't use that as I have everything in that direction. So let's 3 million, that's actually not bad. So let's see what we have here. We have that which need to go somewhere. That is one we sent to be sold directly to the starship. Same with that. Those. So these goes to the starship. I have plenty of these, but see, these are the X for the living ship, which is modules, but that's not what I really need. I need the sacks, which is storage. That's what I really don't have. These are always sold directly anyway, so yeah. These I don't use anymore either because I have everything I can get for them, so I am just storing them. Yeah. Did I ever remember this last time? Yes. Oh, one thing which I should probably do before I see if I can just get some of these. It's more because it actually empty out some of the space, so have some of these coming in. Those goes to be sold as well, and that is pretty much it. Good. Then we have some crossword. I should have picked them up before, but never mind. So we will send the frigates off again. What I'm going to do is I'm actually putting the storage I had for the freighter on. You can always use storage space. That is just how it is. Those frigate modules, I would love to have them on my survival game, but there I have to go and find them. So, balance trade, industrial trade, and discovery. So 2 trade and 1 balance. Okay. The reason I take that first is then actually no. Actually I take them from this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Trade 1, 1, 2, 3. Put a combat and a support on. There we go. And as it's trade, we'll put these on because they give extra points to it, so might actually put in some extra things. Combat, and I do the same again, and the support, and I put these on. I have so many of them, and I actually don't know whether they do any good or not. Industrial, 1, 2, 3. Damn, now I need to leave 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, and support. Nothing I can use, so there's no point on putting any trade related on that. It will not be beneficial, so I don't have a trade, so I should find something with very high trade. 21. Then it's all over. And it's 5 stars, so that seems fine. So that was those. Then we are going to look at a little bit of cooking. That is going to be relatively little compared, but we will still do some stuff. So I have on the freighter some food stuff, and I have in the nutrient one. So I'm going to take some star bulbs and put in my exosuit. Yeah, that was at least some of what I needed. Don't know exactly what I'm going to need, but I'm going to take some of these a little bit more different things. I don't know if I need milk or cream. So I take the cream over. If I need anything else, I might need some of these actually. So I just take them over. If I don't use them, then that's actually fine. So the food processor, it's not called that, but that's what I have kind of I actually don't know what to do with. So I'm just taking things over and so I might not need it, but that's what we get to. But star bulb actually turns into pilgrim berries. I'm not quite sure what we can use them for. I found out not long ago that they can be made into them. So this is a little bit of an experiment. What can we make out of them? It turns from 32 units to 300, so it's one way of almost 10 doubling your assets. I know I talk a lot about money when we do food, but for me that is kind of the essence. If you really want to make money, sit and spend an hour's time doing food stuff and sell. You will not regret it. But you need to collect some of the stuff you can actually cook with. And in some of my videos you can actually see what you need to add up. There is the Cooking with Valderon on my YouTube, and you can go and watch them if you haven't done already. They are quite helpful, at least for getting into the cooking. It's not going to give you the easy route to make a billion. It's not, but it's helping you finding your own way. And it's not like that I don't want to give you a recipe to make a billion. The problem is I can't, because what you encounter in your game will be very different from what I encounter, and therefore you might not get exactly the same things I do. Some of them you can find, and others you find by chance. But to get cooking materials, you have to kill animals and you have to farm animals. That's the two ways. The meat you get by killing them. Eggs, milk, certain type of berries, honey, stuff like that you get from kind of milking them. So that is how it's done. So I'm making a lot of pilgrim berry because as I said, I'm not sure what to use them for yet. But I hope we will find that out in a moment. So it becomes Pilgrim's Tonic. Is that something I can use for anything? I have no clue. However, 800, so it goes 500 up by making it to tonic. So I put them there for a mo. That is not becoming anything more by itself. So I put that there for now. So dough. I actually want to make some more dough, and that is done by taking flour and did someone say yeast? So you take 1800 and 6 is 2400, and that turns to 3200. That is a 800 unit up. Not too bad in my book. So we put this back for now. Then we take the dough. And one dough becomes one bread. That ends on 5,200. So it's 2,000 up from the dough. Not bad for a little bit of work, if you ask me. You take this root and get, let's say, bread. That is actually fine. So I put that there for now. And what I'm going to look at, the bread, it doesn't seem to have any anything if you consume it. The Pilgrim's Tonic gives you 25% hazard protection. So if you're in a crunch situation, actually food can help you. Be aware of that. Right? So you see, sweetened butter gives you restore 40% life support power. That's actually quite a bit. So keep an eye out of that, because it does have other purposes than just cooking it. So the pilgrim berries I just made turn into 5% life support power. That's good if you're in a crunch situation. Right? That is not bad. So go back to the food processor. I had a note about one more thing. No, I didn't. That was the two notes I made. Starbulb and Dow. Dow. So I'm going to put my notes up on the free screen so I actually can see what I have. Because I was sitting looking at something which I actually did have already made, and that was a little bit of a kind of reminder to me that there is more to food than we very often actually think about it. So I will say that make some of these things, have a little bit of fun with it maybe, and see what you actually get out of it. Yeah, I don't think that was a thing I actually have. Let's just check. Oh, I do have fire berries. So, fireberry and sugar turns into ever-burning jam. I'm actually going to make 2 of these because I sometimes need them, and if I don't have them, then it's not the greatest. And if we look at the values, 800, 1620, 400 turns to 3400, so you add actually 1000 units by doing this. So I'm actually going to take the sugar off and just make fire water. I might regret that I used them all, but thing is, I would have to go and collect more of these berries and stuff like that, because I need them to cook with, and I haven't been very good at doing that. So to be honest, I have been a little bit of a lazy bugger on that on that account, because I should have been a little bit more about. So fire water, you can combine that with different things, and now I was stupid because I used all my fire berries. One of them is fire berries. Of course I can do it in another way by combining 2 fire water, and that produce a scorching sauce. So 3600 becomes so you kind of double the value by doing scorching sauce. Right? That is one way of making it, but there is very often other ways. So let's see what I actually have. Would not work. I need the berries, which I don't have, of course. Yeah. So I can't use the Pilgrim Tonic to anything in that connection. But you can mix fire water with different things, and it becomes scorching sauce. So yeah, that was one of the things. The other one I had was let's see. Impulse beans. They become chocolate if they're taken on their own. If they are mixed with other things, instance, jade piece, it becomes previous stew. 8 and 8, 1600. That turns into 6400, so it's actually a big jump. And again, a lot of things on their own turns into something. Jade piece and turns into steamed vegetables, which can be, well, combined with certain things, but I prefer to use them with other things. Pulpy roots turn into root juice, but we combine them with impulse beans, well, then they also become previous stew. So again, 800 and 800 turns into, was it 6,400? So it gives you an uplift on coins for very little work. And it also can work as boosters when you are out and about, because that is also the thing you can do with these things. That is actually get boost to your health. So I wanted to make some root juice. I actually make them all. So root juice is 1800, so that's 1,000 a piece for upgrading them. Now I need to see my notes, what I had on root juice. Feeling there was something, but oh yeah, root juice and steamed vegetables turns into flavorsome sauce. So 1800 and 1836 turns into, just again doubling the value. And now I just realized I was stupid. I need my fireberry now, which I don't have at hand. Of course, I used them all. That was slightly stupid. Okay. That we have to put on hold, kind of. So, root juice processed turned actually into crunchy caramel. So it goes down in price. That's one thing you need to really keep an eye on. When am I losing money? Because you don't want to lose money. That is not a thing which I will suggest you do, because that will just turn it into a wasted time, really. So I'm going to get another plant. Oh, wait. No, it wasn't actually. Of course, we need to go here. Another plant of these, which actually can be used. Selenium. I will actually take a little bit of other ones and just demonstrate a little bit about plants. Because sometimes it's not exactly what it looks like. So when you have things, frozen tubers, they turn into steamed vegetables, but they are also one of the ingredients you can make ice cream with. So don't use them to vegetables, save them and make the ice cream ones. I already showed you that in a video. So that's one thing. Processed sugar. On its own, you can't do anything about it. But, do I have any butter? Yeah. If you mix it with butter, you get sweetened butter. That's not useful either. So, little trick here. Salt. A very cheap commodity. Processed sugar and salt. Wow, that turned into crunchy caramel. And this is 1600 and 101. That then turns into the 5400. So you can make things without losing money as well. So just bear that in mind. And these also turns into a type of berries. Not, well, they are more valuable than the raw thing. They are 70 units, and the refined one is 300. So it does go up. It's nearly 4 double the value. So yeah. The thing is, a lot of things can be combined, and these can be combined like the others into a figure stew at least. So you get to that same result, but with a different way. But I think that is good to bear in mind. That is actually a possibility. So these become steamed vegetables as well, which is worth more, but that's not really where we want to go. So I took other things. Let's see, cactus flesh. I've done that before. That becomes cactus nectar, and that can be combined with different things, but also on its own. 300 from 28, so it's nearly a 10 doubling, which is again, it's brilliant way of making money. You can make other money on cactus flesh, which is more, and I have also shown that in between. So it's not only that way we have to go. So I was actually thinking, because I have silicon egg, which is quite a rare thing, but I'm going to show you a little treat that is going to be the bonus treat today, because we take silicon egg, we add cream, and we add frozen churros. No, we don't. We add, I really would like you to guess, but we add sugar, then we make stellar custard. But see here, 500, 5,459, 65, 7,500. So there should be more than that. Oh, 28,000. That's a nice one. That's a nice one. So then you can mix that with frozen tubers, stellar ice cream. You can also use, do I have any on me? Frost crystal. Frozen tubers and frost crystal works the same way and makes things to ice cream. I can only make one. 36, so that was 12 and that was 28, I think. So we add a lot of coinage to that, and I kind of think that is enough with the cooking today. Let me know if there is some questions about cooking. Either put it in the comment on the video, because I cut the cooking out as a video and upload tomorrow on my YouTube. Put in comments, ask if there's something which you would like me to show you or explain to you, then I will take that up next Sunday. So do that, or you can say in the comments here, I will pick that up as well, and I will kind of reply to it, but I'm not going back and show more cooking. Now we have, when we have cleaned this up. So this is where we kind of stop it. But before I do that, I wanted to show cactus nectar. Add 5% life support power. The scorching sauce I made 20%, and so on. Everything can be used when you are out and about. So it is really just get cooking. So I will just clean it up. Not sure what I have where, but that doesn't really matter. I was, well, actually, before I stop, I would actually like to show you milk turn into cream. So you go from 1600, and you're gonna milk animals out and about, and you get at least one milk from each. Sometimes you get more, depending on the size. And it goes from 1600 to 5400. So alone that kind of making cream out of your milk really adds more money to your inventory, because well, worst case, and you sell it, you just get more out of it. And as I always say, be smart about selling stuff, because you can sell it at a space station or a trading post, and it will say cream minus 1%. This is the price we offer you. Don't sell it to that. Wait until it's a plus something, because then you get more than the average value. What's said here is the average value, is not the top value you can get. And you will find systems where they will pay you more than the 5,400 per unit. So be smart when you actually trade as well. So the cream then turns into butter. Butter is 7,200, so you go up 1,800 to make it to butter. And yeah, I can hear people sitting shouting at the screen now. Yeah, I'm not sitting for hours to do this. It's your choice. I'm not saying you should do it. I say you could do it. Because you could do it doesn't mean you should do it. Because if you don't feel it will be beneficial for you, then don't do it. I would not do something I felt was not a benefit for me. Do I sit and grind a lot of butter to earn more money? No, I don't, because I have no problem making money otherwise. But for some people, earning money is a struggle, and that is at least one way you can go to do it. I'm giving you the tools. How you use them is up to you. So, and with that, I'm only going to do one thing more. I don't know why it didn't take the last one, because I'm going to process butter and butter, and for some reason that comes out as clarified oil, and now the value is 30,000. So we take one of these 7.2, one of these 7.2, 14.4 turn into 30,000. So now you know how to make money by making food stuff. So, as I said, I give you the tools. You choose what you will, what if and when you will use them for. So I'm making 500,000 here. So that's there we go. And I was actually just curious to see what actually the bonus thing on the oil was. 25% hazard protection. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. So yeah. So there is other use for it than just monetary, and it is really up to you if you want to, because you're the one playing, and I'm not saying anything about whether you should or not. I'm just showing you, and there are more things I have to show down the line, but I need to be better to pick up some of the things. So an ice cream valued 36,000. That's not bad, is it? I don't think it is, and I think it can be fun sitting doing these things, and if I just could put things the right places, it would be even funnier. And many of these things, if you have any production on your farms around, then you will get plenty of these. All I have gotten is from the farming I have done on my bases, and it is very easy to make the plants and actually get something out of them. So don't be afraid of experimenting a little bit as well, because even though I give you some hints, tips and tricks, there are more than I actually show, because I don't have everything either. I have learned by doing, by experimenting, and it's not like I spent a lot of time doing it either. I was sitting sometimes 10-15 minutes after I've been playing and going through it and kind of, okay, that turns to that, that turns to that, and that's a good way of actually finding your route, maybe. So I'm just going to double check that I'm not running around with a lot of these. No. So that was the cooking of today, and I kind of hope it was a little bit useful. More cooking next Sunday, but if you haven't caught it all, then it will be caught out and uploaded as an independent video on my YouTube channel tomorrow. So at least that's one thing which is sure. So we have spent some time getting into the game, and we are now venturing out where we ended last time, which was Wednesday. And I need to see if I actually have any missions taken. I think... no, I didn't take one. Okay. And it comes and tell me that I probably did, but that's how it is. This was the wrong one I went to talk to, but again, that's what happens. None of this is useful, so go and sell stuff. And I put all things to sell on my starship. That's why I like a lot of space on them. It's not everything I have that I want to sell, but I have everything I want to sell on this spaceship. So, and you see, this is the example I gave. If it says minus something, I said 1%, but 3.3 is even worse. I'm not going to sell it because it's less than the average. So, and the same goes with other things. I'm not doing that. This one says plus 0.5%. That's fine. It's a plus, and it gives me some space, and get rid of it. Vortex cubes the same. The breadth is 0.7%, so it sells for more than the 5,000. Go. And yeah, if you want to argue that why are you not saving it for when you need it on planet? Well, to be honest, I'm so well protected at this place in the game that it wouldn't normally do much for me. But I do not dismiss the threat from planetary situations. So, this is the Paradise Planet. What? Am I doing this again? It seems like sometimes I actually end up doing things and then have to almost reinvent the wheel. Doesn't look like it, so I'm going for that one. Of course, there's a black hole, and I'll be moving a little bit faster through this galaxy. Hole, and over there is the space station, and we of course go for the space station. So, as usual, I look at the ships and I look at the space station itself. So, might be something interesting or not. That is one of the things which is difficult to predict, because you kind of need to take a look before you actually know. So I have a little bit to sell. The others I'm saving. I'm going to see if I can tweak something, but I only do that sometimes. So a B class. I need to find out if I actually filled out my starship. Max storage reach. So I can't physically put any more on. Fine. I'm still doing the missions to get storage augmentation because I have other ships, and I do like all my ships to be filled as much up as I can, because that is funnier to fly around with them and have space for everything. So, sold a little bit of oxygen to the gig trader. Was that anything useful? That's a good question. So, I can sell them, I can sell them, I can sell them. You can see they are up in plus quite a lot. Well, actually these are as well. This is a good place for me. Yeah, let's get it out. That is how I make money. Buying cheap, selling more expensive. It's basic capitalism, but it works. It works quite well. And at some point I reach the physical limitation of how much money I can have. I'm trying to find out the accurate number because first of all I want to know, and second I want to tell you guys so you don't make a mistake and start losing money because you don't have a place to put them. There's a hauler, that's a sea, that's a shuttle, that's a sea as well. I am not far from having all words in the different languages. I already have the Viking. So I will still be talking to Gex and Kovacs until I get it, and that is how it has been so far. And this far. But I feel it helps much more in the game when you actually have that dialogue translated, especially those where you need to do something specific. Not understanding them and getting, let's say, 4 options, then you're sitting thinking, okay, what could be? And sometimes, for some reason, something is actually flashing and you pick that and then it's not going to be what you kind of expected. So, yeah. So, I'm also still collecting to multi-tool because, again, it's actually nicest to have as much slots as possible. I'm not using them straight away because I'm actually waiting until I get S-Class for all my slots. And that's how many I can have, and I think it's 6 you can have. And when I do that, then I will fill them up when I get them, and yeah. I got one not long ago, which I actually already filled up, and that was quite neat to be able to do it. So we need to find a marsh world and take a picture. It doesn't sound like the hardest task, however. Finding the marsh world could be tricky. Need to make sure it's the one which is up. It's in another system, okay. That kind of makes it a little bit easier, because then I know it's one of the planets in that system, but it can still be any planet. So it might take a lot of landing and checks. And that is often target planet where? I don't see any pointers, so infested paradise. That doesn't sound nice. Shattered moon. It was not the one I already. No, it doesn't show anything. There's one behind here. No, these are not behind directly. So, hazy planet. Abandoned planet. Space station. So we know it's in this system, and it's one of these. Problem is they are unknown until I land on them. So I'm going to the space station first to see what's there and if there's any missions which is interesting. Because if I have to land on planets anyway, then I might as well doing it this way. There's another thing I need to remember. It's keeping this running as much as I can. because that really helps me out in the end of each stream. And that is one of the things that I have learned from more experienced players than me. But that is of course correct that when you run around anyway, it's actually not bothering you, it runs. Yeah, I can see on my back it's turning around and there's a little bit of color, but it's not anything bad. This is a Viking system, so I'm going to take the nanites on both sides. So now this was open plus, good. That was in plus. And that was in plus, good. Always good to get rid of it with a profit. So, give me a C-class shield module for my exosuit. Well, that's I think it was for my exosuit. Should actually check that. But as it's C-class, it's going to be sold anyway, so it is nothing I can or want to use. Yeah, it was for the exosuit. So it goes down there. And when we have a number of them, we will sell them for nanites. Two C-class shuttles. This is Viking, so I'm not even going to talk to them because there's no more words. So I'm often being asked why I actually take these. There is no direct reason to it, it's just that it doesn't harm to do it, and if my things should be a little bit down, then, well, let's just get it, and it will be beneficial. So gift, which is coin, 500,000, well, nearly 600,000. That is actually not bad. I got a mission to kill some low-level pirates. That is okay. Explorer came there. Okay. So let's go and do that. For some reason my eyes is itchy today. I do not know why, but I hope it is not causing any problems. Bear with me a second, I need to open my window. I have created myself a little bit of a warm corner here with my computer, and it is, yeah, it is as it is. So I often said this, and I'll repeat it for those who haven't heard it. Fights in space. You should always be fine, as long as you make sure your shield is kind of maintained. So don't let it go too low. Very nice to find this thing up here. Fast. As long as you keep your shields off and make sure you have what is needed to keep them off, sodium shield batteries and stuff like that, then you should always be fine. I had fights on my survival game that was a whole other story, because they actually hit harder. And it was a struggle actually to have the resources to keep your shield up. If you notice, I use a lot of sodium because I have plenty of it. But on that, I didn't have a lot of sodium, so I actually had to get batteries to recharge my shield with. And there's the question about learning to produce them. So sometimes you have to prioritize different things to actually get best out of your game. Where did he come from? So I did talk a little bit much, and I did kind of let myself a little bit too far down, but that is that's okay. Hazy planet. I'm looking for where the swamp planet. Could it be the hazy one? Actually, it could. Don't back, go forward. There's a building there. Okay. This is an abandoned building, so okay, let's see how hot. For some reason my phone was recording what I was saying, so it put it into a chat. I always had that little bit of funny thought, and my family and I have often talked about that the phones are listening, because have you ever noticed that you talk about something, something to buy in a supermarket? Let's just say some soft drinks. You talk about by brand. I'm not going to say it by brand, because then people will say, oh, you're advertising for something. That's not what I'm doing. But you want to have some soft drinks, and you talk about it, and 10 minutes later you open Facebook or whatever you go on, and there's commercials for that product you just talked about. How does that happen without listening? Just saying, there is too many coincidences to it to be like that. It happens a little bit too much to my liking. The worst part is when you mention a brand which is wrong because you misheard, misunderstood, whatever it is, and oh, that was not correct. Okay. Why is that not correct? Is there some special place I need to go to? That's a good question. I need to check which multi-tool I have wielded. This is my scanning one, good. And this is one of those multi-tools I talked about. I got it. It's an S-class. Didn't have a lot of slots, but I had a lot in spare, so I just filled it up with slots, and I have grinded scanning on this one quite a bit. So would this be the place to take a photo? Yes, it's actually a nice photo. A little bit hazy, but hey ho, it's a hazy planet, so that might be why. Oh, I'm on a Viking system, so there's no need. Yeah, I'm going back to the space station, no worries. I'm going to do one thing more though. Because I'm going to find a trading post. There's one on this planet. A little bit far away, so we go out and down again. Because then we can use the pulse engine. That's always a good way of cutting time off when you are jumping around. So the reason for the trading post is I want to have something to sell going further on. And maybe see if there's anything else interesting. Which you never know. So, now the temperature is actually not too bad, good. So, boxes. As usual, I need boxes. We have talked about this, but yeah, I am a boxologist. No, I'm just a hoarder. That is the proper word for how I play. You can see it, everything is filled up with stuff in different groups. Resources, of course, being one of them, but also valuable items and stuff like that. So I just try to grab everything I can. And that's my way of playing the game. Some would say I'm taking the survival a little bit too serious. That is very likely. And yeah, you do see me kind of ending up with too much crap sometimes, so I'm sitting there crying to find out what to sell. Oh, I didn't pick up. I got one of these. Suspicious life support. $7.11. These are way higher. This one is actually not one I can exchange it for now. Even though it's C-class, it's a specific upgrade, so it doesn't count in the 4, but the X's and the S is those which actually count. I'm just chopping that down to the resources. There was boxes up here as well. There's a ship down there as well. And one arrived there. They are. There's a solar. I always say to people, if you want solar ships, go to outlaw systems. But they do appear other places as well. So it is not just going to outlaw, you can actually encounter them everywhere else as well. So we need to make sure we just continue this. I get a lot of rusted metal, I make it into ferrite dust, and we often had a discussion on the channel because some people say can't be bothered refining it. And I kind of understand that, because that can sometimes be a little bit annoying, but on the other hand, I want to earn as much money I can, and therefore I refine it so I get good surplus out of my income. Noise in this system, I find. So, yeah. I shot too close to the space station. Don't do that. That will trigger sentinels. So it's a mistake I often do, to be honest. I'm not sure where the boundary for shooting goes, but I have noticed that when I try to clear asteroids just outside a space station, I often get into trouble. However, just land on the space station and you are good. I'm actually not going to use fuel to go back to the black hole, because that was there, I think. I might have been stupid here. I am stupid. It was that one I needed to go to. I am very stupid today. Oh dear. Stupid well. Well, sometimes you do the right things, sometimes you do the wrong things. As long as you don't die from it, then it's solid. The only one which actually suffers from what you're doing is yourself. So any of the things I've just bought valuable here? No. So that's always the first thing I do check, is when I come back to a station where I actually have been, just double check if I have bought things on the fly somewhere else. So we are going for the black hole. That was actually, no, we're not. We're going to find a trade post here as well, because we might as well earn some money. That is I have a nasty habit to look at planets just outside the space station and being sucked in again, and that's actually quite silly. Byproduct, by happiness. What here could make me happy? What about we go the other way and you buy happiness from me? Because giving me money is so it would be stupid not to. That would be stupid. What now? More? Nothing there. Okay. Enough Ferengi traders here. A poisonous wall, so make sure your poisonous protection is up and running. C-class roller. Particular, I need to look at that solo over here. Was that in? No, that's not interesting either. So, any boxes up here? Doesn't look like it. It's a repository. I will have to go and visit that because there is a guild representative and it's a free gift. That sometimes can be quite a lot, so I'm going to buy a lot of stuff here. Thing to sell. That's fine. Another ship, C-class. Things I can't see. Or sea fighter. Boxes there. Ow. Don't do that. That might hurt you. No, that was not what I asked you to. Good amount of coins on top just for scanning one animal, so I keep saying this. Do your scans around. It's a weird holder. So I think that was what we could get out of this trade post. There was a couple of animals I couldn't get, but in another world, in another when I see a repository, I actually normally want to visit it. Because, as I said, there is a guild representative there, and that is always a gift for you. It is also the place where you can get most lore in the game, so if you want to pursue some of that, you need to go into the repository and hack the computer, and which is not difficult to do, and then actually read through whatever comes up. There's a guy there selling a little bit of blueprints and components. That is only useful in the start game, I would say. When you come up and start getting S-class modules, that's not really what you want. Well, of course, as I did on my survival game, where I started up pretty naked, I took everything I could, so... And I would say if I was starting a new game, then that would be my mantra as well there. Get the basic first, and then start tweaking it as we go. So this is the repository. You go up, you talk to the computer. Now there's an incoming toxic storm, so that might actually be a good time to just being indoor. So this is forbidden to everyone but Gek. So you need to find a word which would fit with them offer. Trade words is probably the best option with Gek. And then you get some story, fragments of Gellywhoop, a diary of a famous Gek, and it tells something, and you can read through it, and you can get a lot of information, and it will help you if you practice your language skills as well, because those words coming out of different things actually give some extra brownie points when you do it. Sail. I get a little bit of... I need to get in where I'm protected. Yeah, good. That of course goes to the starship. That's where all the selling stuff is. That is logic for those who have been following me for a while. That is what I do. So, oh, don't cut my sound. That's not very nice. Oh, now there is pirates. Where's my ship? It's down there. Storm and Pirates, I go and fight the pirates because that's actually always giving a lot of kudos with standing with the locals. I hope we can see that in a moment. I'm using the Sentinel cannon, but it actually don't overheat on me like the Infraknife sometimes do. I better like the Infraknife, but and it has a higher damage output as well, but this one is good. It's not bad. Don't think that. It's actually quite good having two different, quite potent weapon opportunities. And I will say, if you wonder how I got such a good gun, go and get a Sentinel Interceptor. It is not overly difficult to do. I was not looking for the space station, I was looking for a black hole. There it was. So black holes brings me bigger jumps than I can do on my own. Roughly 6,000 light years. It will come up and tell me I have jumped a very big distance sometimes. But that's all bogus because it jumps from one side of the galaxy to the other and just get you a little bit closer to the center. Yeah, 653,000. That should have brought me to the center, but I'm still 455,000 from the center. So it is just pulling my leg a little bit, but it's fine. It was more than I could jump on my own. So sometimes it's good to save a little bit of juice for the engine so you don't actually end up just fuel jumping all the time, because even though this ship flies pretty much on free fuel, because I just need to pick it up on dissonant planets, it's still something that need to be filled on. I can use these radiant shards, but I can use normal things as well, which I have plenty of. So I'm not in dire need at any point, but it is kind of where you go to and say, oh, okay, because that is how it is. But that doesn't prevent me from saving my fuel a little bit sometimes when I can. It is not like I'm trying to save or totally money on everything. That's not my purpose. But when you have played games where you actually struggle for getting the different things, then you learn to be a little bit smart where you can. And that's one thing which comes with experience. Yeah, I'm spending my money. See if I can earn it on them. So, well, that gave me a little bit of coins. That one as well. So, I would say I probably earned. Oh. I probably earned what I gave him, so yeah. That is absolutely fine. Then let's look at door number 2. Okay, that's an Atlas room. It is useless for me because I've done all the Atlas stuff. So it just seemed like it goes into a loop, and I go into it and it pops out again without doing anything. So that is just kind of a waste of time doing anything with that. So, if you don't know, you can use the chat. If you're a new player, ask questions. If you have problems, tell me a little bit about how you like the game. If you are not so new player, but still in a new phase, feel free to ask questions or comment on how you're doing. If you're an experienced player, feel free to come in with some tips, tricks as well, and I'll chit chat a little bit about the game. That is also fine. You don't have to follow to use the chat. I will say that if anyone chooses to follow me, I would be appreciated. It will help me, but you can use the chat anyway. I'm not one of them which will sit and sort people out. I would say if you follow me, it's because you like what you see. And what isn't there to like? I'm a grumpy old man, played games for 40 years. And sometimes I play like a noob. Other times I play like a pro almost. It's how can I say it in a nice way? It's a little bit hit and miss sometimes, but it is weird. But I do like playing games, and I have done that for many years. Often played games instead of watching TV, for instance. Oh, there's another paradise planet. Should we take a look at it and see how it looks? Kind of still looking for a place to make a base in this. Oh, wait a minute. Didn't I do that last time? I did. So I'm lying. But we can still look at the planets. Water here. Looks like. That's a weird planet. Kind of weird. So even though it's a paradise planet, I would say this would actually be quite a nice place to build a base on, because it's flat. But I wouldn't know why. I'm a little bit curious here. Water is actually relatively... it's actually relatively deep, so... Suspicious. So yeah, this could be a interesting place if you, for instance, want to build a submerged base. That could theoretically be interesting. No. I need to change my multi-tool, so if I want to fight. Close enough, then I get an eye for an eye. So they are, I find, relatively rare to actually get hands on. So sometimes I like to just grab them if I can. So yeah, I parked my ship on top of something which I could actually use, but that is not really going to happen. No. It was. I'm just going to sit in the ship for a moment because I need to take a very short break, bathroom break. So 2 minutes and I'll be back again. Stay with me. So, sorry for that, but sometimes you just have to do what you have to do. That's how it works for me, at least. And it is a possibility, it's all the coffee I'm drinking that actually is causing it, but yeah. So I was looking to deliver something. Oh, that's very far away. But I will do so. Mainly because that's what the mission says. But I will say space station on the way. Because there might be
hostile scan detected. Warning, threat detected. Hostile ships approaching.
See, that's the thing. I don't really care about any pirates or anything coming in and scanning or even chasing me, because I know I can most of the time actually deal with them. I have to make sure I don't sell those. Well, because that's what I need to deliver. Do I have any other things that I need to run now? I don't think so. So, however, I have a lot of these, so I got them as a gift from the guild. They are very nice. That one I put around the freighter, then it is in a safe place. I've got here a sea fighter. That's there, that's the solar, a B solar. This one down the B shore. Not the most intriguing ships, but it's nice to see some diversity sometimes. It's Viking system, so there is 2 nanite machines on the wall. And what is happening here? Selling stuff, but I'm not going to buy for that price. At least they're not tempting me here. It does happen sometimes they tempt. But you normally get more out of the mission than you get out of selling it. So we leave them alone. That's but they wake up and they give gifts and standing. So I'm not the one, and this is another Atlas one. Still can't use that either. So there's an encyclopedia. I can't learn anything more with them, so that is kind of wasted. So what do we got here? A sea hauler, a sea explorer. I would say this is a 3-star system, so the theories are right. We should have more possibility to see S-class ships here, but I'm not very lucky with that, but I find them other places, so it is up and down what your luck gives you, and remember, this game is the game of Sod, so Sod's law is always in progress. Whatever you really need, you won't find it. Well, you will find it, but it will be hard. And all the difficult things you don't need, you will find. There's another traveler. I don't need them, so that's why they're popping up. If you don't know what to use the travelers to, then ask. I will happily tell you. So I am going there with the parcel, so no, just the dig side. Okay, then we're doing that first. Then we might attract more pirates as we go as well. I'm actually kind of doing something I normally wouldn't do. I wouldn't go down and land on a planet without scanning it first. But the scanning came a little bit too late for me, but still I have a mission here, so no matter what are choking at me, I will kind of have to deal with it. So one of the good things with the Sentinel interceptors is they can actually hover over the ground, and you might sometimes get a better view of what you might be looking for. I need to go down and find a monolith of some kind, which will tell me the direction to a dig site. And to be honest, I can't see anything looking like that, so I might as well land and go out on foot and see if I can find it. And the thing is, that is how it sometimes is. So what? That way for 476. Okay. One thing. Anyway. Where? An apex predator here. That's nice there. And if you notice, I'm actually scanning with my normal. I'm not swapping around and to do A and B, even though I do have weaponry on the scanning one, but I prefer to have everything at hand that I need. So I can feel there's a question about animals attacking you. Well, that is a possibility on any planet you go down on. Talk about and I will say that it's not always the one which looks the worst that is the worst. And most of them you can actually kill with your mining laser, which you're kidding me. Okay, this planet, the wildlife want to eat you. Okay, kind of nice to know. So, I think, actually, kind of want to scan them. Because everything here, I found all animals on this planet there's a freaking sentinel as well. Okay. Let's not get sidetracked here because that is not worth it. Oops, there is one. Something hit me, and that was a plant. The worst problem is you can try to defend yourself, and well, you will. And then the sentinels come to start mingling with the animals. That can become a little bit problematic. So, I'm not wandering around with aggressive wildlife and sentinels and a cold temperature and and because it's not worth it. Don't get killed on foot across a planet if you don't have to. Of course, there is times where you kind of have to do these kind of things. Of course, that's pretty much how it is. It's annoying, but it's the truth. But it is one of these things which actually, I would almost say, makes it relatively interesting. So this was not as close as I thought, but that is okay. And at least I've scanned all animal life on this planet, so I get a little bit of a bonus for that. So all you have to do is, you've got 5 out of 5, you click on it, and up there is hold to register completion, 1200 nanites, going straight into your account. You can also upload your discoveries. You get some nanites for each of those you have discovered. The same with plants and minerals. Oh, I haven't scanned any minerals yet. So, and they all come up when you click there. So now I will actually scan something. I think here. Maybe not a lot, but I always tend to scan at least something because nanites is practical to keep getting rolling slowly into your account. Fuck. as fast as we can, because now I need to use the terrain manipulator. What the?
Technology recharge.
Wonder what on earth that was. I don't think I ever encountered that I couldn't dig a hole in the ground, which is a little bit annoying, as there is certain things here around here that I don't really wanna. Where did it go? So up on the surface,
Weather warning. Incoming
there.
storm.
There is a lot of dangerous animals. There's sentinels. And now there's a firestorm. I'm getting nervous here, to be honest. So I think I'll just try to do this as fast as I can. And then just get away from here. There it is. So now the temperature is rising. So it might sometimes be better just to dig the hole, get down underground, because that actually protects you from the environment as well. So what it... That was not what I was going to do. I was going to see what was the value, not much, so... A good thing with this kind of mission is that you can actually keep the artifact you find. So it's a double win situation. So the artifact upload link is on a trade station, so that is a trading post, so that is quite good. I would say this kind of planet is one of the worst, because